We're going to focus on interview questions and guide you to draft, practice, and remember your responses. Your proactive preparation will build your confidence and give you an edge on your competition who may be making up their answers on the spot. Just what are you going to say at the interview? Let's figure it out so that you're confidently prepared and that you walk in and leave a great impression. We hope that you're already feeling comfortable with your elevator speech and that you're starting to use it as you have both formal and informal networking conversations. The more relaxed you are saying your elevator speech, the more it will become memorable and believable so that people can figure out how to help you. When you use it in the interview, you're setting the stage for a great conversation. Another question that you may be asked during the interview is, so what do you do best? You need to pick one of your skills or abilities and embellish it. Proactive thinking before the interview makes this easy. For instance, if you enjoy solving problems, you might say, I really like a challenging problem that makes me focus and dig deep to find out what's going on, and then to come up with optional solutions that might solve it. Okay, this is something you'll often be asked. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Your response might include an item from your short-term answer and then add with increasing responsibility, such as, I want a position where I could continue my focus on audit with increasing responsibility for the client-facing conversations regarding results and actions. Tell me about your weaknesses. This is a question that will be asked in most interviews. What they're really asking is, give me a reason why I shouldn't consider you for the position, and don't give them one. Let's stop for a minute and consider a sales situation. When you're talking to a car salesman about buying a specific car, do they point out poor gas mileage or high maintenance costs of that particular car? Absolutely not. And we would suggest that you remember that when you're asked about your weaknesses, that you have prepared an answer that is satisfying because none of us are perfect. However, we also suggest that you don't dwell on it or provide multiple answers. Remember, you're selling your product. You. How about a way to answer the weakness question that puts it to your advantage? So start with an attribute or strength of yours, and then add its opposite, that if you had to do that all of the time, it would be very difficult for you. For instance, I really enjoy collaborating to build on lots of different ideas, so if I had to work by myself all of the time, it would be very difficult. So if you share a weakness and then they ask, what else? You should say low, slow, and unimportantly, I can't think of anything else that would get in the way of me doing a great job for you. It is very important to understand that once you get to the interview, you're going to be kicking yourself under the table if you feel unprepared. Preparation really separates those who excel with those who finish in second place. Do your homework before you get there so that you can confidently be your most professional and positive self. Employers want confident, prepared employees, so you want to give them that impression during everything you share and how you act in the interview. The more you research the company before you interview, the more you're going to get out of the interview because you understand what they're talking about. So Google everything about the company you can and use social media and trade groups to understand the company's vision, results, and strategy. Then your questions and responses will be more targeted, and the enthusiasm you demonstrate will set you apart. Your research will help you decide if it's a company that you would like to work for. You will have background information to give you insight into what the interviewer is sharing so that you have intelligent responses or questions to show interest in your ability to follow the conversation. You'll also be prepared to answer the question, why do you want to work for us? You must have an appropriate response to this question or it will become an elimination question. So let's look at some of the facts you should know. You should know a bit about their corporate culture, number of employees, products or services, their target market, their competitors, recent news about them in regards to their results or new products or something that's going on. Also, you should know all their locations and the address of where you will be interviewing, and be sure to look up directions. Determine who the interviewer will be, their name, their title, and as much about them as you can. And also do your research on the actual position that you will be interviewing for. Why do you want to work for us? This is a question that you should definitely reflect on after you do your research on the company. Does it sound like a company that you would be proud to work in? Do you believe that their product or service is in alignment with who you are and what you want to do? Do you agree with the company values, what they stand for? These are all good things to consider before you come up with your answer to why do you want to work for us, because that question will most likely be asked during the interview. When you are considering your response to the question, why do you want to work for us? Come up with a key company fact that interests you, and then link it to your talents, skills, or interests. So if the company puts a great deal of emphasis on research and development, you might want to emphasize the fact that you want to be in a job where you create new things and where such activity is encouraged. So here are some examples. I would like to work for you because I admire your company's policies on the environment, and I want to work for a company that takes this responsibility seriously. Or if the organization stresses financial controls, your answer could mention that you have a passion for working with numbers and are looking for an organization where the key mission is all about financial control. I would love to work for an innovative company that is seen as a leader in healthcare solutions. And the last one, your company is seen as a leader in the financial services arena, and I want to work for a company of integrity. So you can see, first you have to really be attracted to their product, service, values, or other important component of their business, and then be able to relate that to something you want in a career or something that you believe in. The compensation question provides a guideline as to where you fit into an organization's hierarchy, how much responsibility and authority you merit, and is an indicator of the additional value you represent to the employer. Until a prospective employer is sufficiently intrigued to bring up money, do not mention it either. I would consider it are magic words that could keep you from being eliminated. For instance, if they ask you if you'd take less money, I'd consider it. Would you relocate? I'd consider it. Would you take a lesser job than expected? I'd consider it. Because you can always tell them later that you've chosen not to take the job or that you can't relocate. However, by staying in the process, other opportunities might come up that were not available when you were at the original interview. A new job could be available, one where you wouldn't have to relocate, or one for more money. So it's just keeping your options open for a longer period of time. You will most probably get asked about why you left positions, especially your most recent job. You should therefore be prepared to answer truthfully and with few details unless they ask for more information. When you have left a position by your choice and have a reason that is easy to talk to, simply answer, I heard of an opening at XYZ company that was a step ahead into a leadership position, so I applied and decided to make the move. Or, I decided that I wanted to pursue a master's degree, so I went back to work full-time. A personal response for family issues can simply be stated, I had a personal situation that needed my full-time attention for a period of time. When it comes to leaving an organization when it was not your choice, such as during a reorganization, merger, etc., you should give your answer a little more thoughtful preparation. You need to be prepared to answer the question, why did you leave, when it wasn't your choice? The best response to this question is one that doesn't beg the interviewer to ask further questions. Generalize and answer in a low, slow, and unimportant way. The company reorganized and my department was reduced by 40%. I was one of the people who were included in the reduction. Chances are they may not probe further. So you need to keep your emotions in check when answering why you left your last position. Look casual and relaxed in your response. Keep your tone of voice low, slow, and unimportant. Keep your answer short, truthful, simple, and believable. And never fault the company, your manager, or yourself for why you left. 2 other important questions that will be asked and your possible answers. 1, when did you leave? So keep this answer broad and general, such as the end of April. Definitely not respond like last Friday at 4:15 p.m. Did you get a severance? They were certainly fair, and I can't discuss the amount if asked. The main point here is to make sure that you have thought about your answers prior to the interview so they don't catch you off guard and so that your emotions don't come into play when you answer the questions. They may be interested in your gaps in employment and what you've been doing while you're out of work. You need to be honest and think about your response beforehand. If possible, let the interviewer know that you were busy and active, regardless of whether you were out of work by choice or otherwise. And fill in the gap. What did you do? Were you improving skills, attending classes, caring for someone, freelancing, doing part-time jobs, temporary jobs, volunteer work, until the right opportunity showed up? It doesn't really matter what you did as long as you have an explanation. If you have shown steady employment since you had a gap in employment, it will have less importance. When closing the interview, they might ask you, how would you add value to their company, or why should they hire you? Be sure to be prepared with a connection to the job that's available and how your strengths, skills, and abilities match up and how you would make a positive difference in the bottom line results. And ensure that they know that you're interested in the job and that you think it would be a great fit for you. Here's a couple of examples of closing statements. John, I would like to ask you to hire me. I have the analytical and technical skills as well as excellent verbal and written communication skills that it will take to make this position a success. I really want to come and work for you. When will you be making your decision? Jan, this certainly is an exciting opportunity, and I believe that I am the right candidate. My knowledge of the customer base in the area will help grow your business. Additionally, my sales performance shows my commitment to achieving targets. Can you please share what's the next step in the hiring process? You can also refer to our reference document, Interview Closing Statements, for more help in creating your own closing statements. Remember that this is not a one-size-fits-all. You need to fine-tune your response to the company and job at hand. You need to take time to prepare to answer these questions. Tell me about yourself. What kind of job are you looking for? What do you do best? What do you want to be doing in 5 years? What are your weaknesses? Why do you want to work for us? And what were you doing during the time you were out of a job? Here's some more questions that will probably come up at some point during your job search process. What kind of salary are you looking for? Would you relocate? Would you consider a different position? Why did you leave your last job? Why did you have a gap in your work history? Why should we hire you? These are all questions that will probably come up, and if you are prepared, you will answer them confidently, memorably, and be more impressive than other candidates who are making them up on the spot. Prepare your answers to all of these questions, practice them, and make them real so that you're able to recall them whenever anyone asks these questions. Always respond with your prepared answers until they become real and easy for you to remember. There aren't any casual conversations during your job search, so everyone who asks should get the same responses from you. It's now your job to get a job, so put all of this proactive preparation to use by getting out there and having conversations about your job search until you find that job with your name on it. Through everything you say and do, and how you look and how you sound, you'll be sending messages to the hiring manager about who you are. Your ultimate goal is to communicate clearly and positively so that they get the sense that they could count on you to deliver what you promise, solve all of their problems, be a team player, make them look great, and have integrity in everything you say and do. The responses that you perfect, as well as your success stories, will help build these thoughts in the interviewer's mind. We cannot overemphasize the importance of proactive preparation and practice of answers to common interview questions. You'll be smiling when you face the interview because you know that you have most of the answers. It's a feeling worth working towards.